You Don't Know Dick. And that is the book. And she's my beautiful friend, Kristina Denton, here on Therapy Thursday. Welcome, Kristina.
Thank you,
Kristina.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, we're excited to have you. So I know that you're an actress. Mm-hmm. You are also a writer, a producer, a director. You've done so many things. And now, but I feel like this book, You Don't Know Dick, is just so true to your heart and so close to who you are.
Yeah. First time I'm telling my story, for sure.
Yeah, your story. So tell us your story.
Yeah. So, like I said, been telling other people's stories for almost 20 years here in Hollywood. Got very comfortable with that and decided this job that I had was so fascinating and so interesting. It felt like I needed to tell this somehow, some way, either through a pilot or a book. And the book ended up coming first. So here we are. Yeah. I worked at an erectile dysfunction clinic for 1 year in LA as one of my day jobs. As many of you know, acting, you have to support yourself sometimes with other side gigs. And, I started as an office manager. So I was just answering phones, folding towels.
Erectile dysfunction clinic?
It was a wellness center.
A wellness center, okay.
That was then converted into an erectile dysfunction clinic once we brought the service on. And because I was the only employee, it seemed like the right fit for them and for me. So it's like...
It's really interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. My comedic brain was like, am I going to be a dick fixer? Somebody please help me understand what this means. But I needed the money and they were going to pay me more. And I thought, well, I'm an actor. I know how to work with multiple types of people. Let's give this a shot. And it completely changed my life.
Wow.
And Sarah's a licensed therapist, as you know. And so why don't we talk about how you dove in so seamlessly into the world of erectile dysfunction?
I mean, this is really fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It
I think
is.
it's such a cool thing.
Yeah. So I did have a background in kinesiology, exercise science. I worked in physical therapy. So working with people in their bodies, I was also a personal trainer. It wasn't completely foreign to me, but they definitely always had their clothes on. So to be asked to do something this intimate, this vulnerable was a tall order for me. But because of my acting background, I do give a lot of credit to that. It taught me how to have empathy, how to have compassion, how to kind of identify with multiple types of worlds of people and personalities. And so it felt something like I could be very safe in that room. And honestly, the biggest thing I cared about was making them feel comfortable. Because I'm meeting these men at their lowest.
And that's a lot of that's why I knew you and Sarah would have so much in common, because Sarah is also transformational and there to help. Really, at the end of the day, you're helping. It doesn't matter if it's depression or erectile dysfunction, which are probably interchangeable, but still, that's probably pretty cool when you help someone, Sarah, and when you help someone get their boner on.
Listen,
I mean, it's tremendously vulnerable material. I mean, that I certainly work with, and you clearly work with too. And it's an incredible honor to sit with somebody in that vulnerability.
Honestly, I felt that way. I felt honored to be in that space with them and be able to hold space for them and hold their stories. And as soon as they started to feel comfortable with me, because don't get me wrong, plenty of them would meet me and take one look at me and said, absolutely not, you're not working on me. Right. And I'm like, this is LA, baby. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
you're here
I'm not.
And I'm here. Let's at least try.
Right. And then, I would kind of disarm them with my humor or something to just, I would feel out their personality. And then eventually, because we worked together for 6 sessions for an hour each, they would start to tell me their story. And the things I was hearing from men, it completely changed the way that I feel about men, what I know is possible with men, about how deeply vulnerable and emotional and full of shame they are. Like it was this spiritual classroom, I call it, into the male epidemic of loneliness and shame and vulnerability. I just felt like it was giving me everything I needed that I didn't get from my father and from men in general to help me feel safe with them for the first time in my life. Oh, wow. Such a wild entry point. But,
so it's almost like you are a therapist of sorts, and Sarah, you are a therapist. So it's almost like you learned your therapy through erectile dysfunction.
Right. Yeah, I learned to just have compassion for men, I think, for the first time through that service. Yeah.
What was the thing that surprised you most?
Like I said, honestly, how sensitive men are and how they're feeling so deeply, but not allowed to express it. And so there's this disconnect between who they can be behind closed doors in the safety of a space like that versus who they have to be in public. Right. And I thought, man, that's a really tough identity crisis to go through. And it just made me feel compelled and this conviction to champion them and fight for them and sort of change a narrative about them to the best of my ability.
I want to ask both of you too. And Sarah, I know you've probably seen a lot different sides of people than so have you,
right,
Kristina. But is there a common thread with erectile dysfunction for a man? Is there a common theme that comes up over and over and over again?
I mean, in my experience, it's the difference whether it is a physical situation or whether it's a repercussion of a psychological situation. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so what we were taught was about 80 to 90% of ED typically is a physical symptom. The problem is then it becomes psychological because you stop trusting your dick, right?
Yeah.
There were plenty of younger, like I had clients from 18 to 80 years old for a variety of reasons, right? The large portion of them were in their 50s and 60s, and there was health issues and there were things that were just physically going wrong,
right?
But that would impact them so tremendously psychologically. So certainly there were a few men that would come in and once you kind of dug into their story a little bit, you would think, oh, you don't have a physical problem. You actually have a psychological issue within your marriage or within your life that is preventing you from feeling comfortable and safe. So your body's just not working properly. But that was more rare than it was a physical issue in our clinic.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when I've talked to men, what I found is sometimes what can begin as a physical issue, once there's that pressure to perform, then the psychology becomes the bigger problem, even if the physical issue is resolved.
Performance anxiety. Yeah,
so how do we get out of this head and get into the other head?
That's a Sarah question. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's a lot of work. I mean, from my experience, I think really giving these men permission to say, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be flawed. It's okay to have shame. Like you're actually like I was standing in front of them and saying, what would I want if I was in this situation? I would want to be validated. I want acceptance. I want to feel like nothing's actually wrong with me. So my job was to make them feel like this was so normal. Yeah. This was do you know how many people I see with this? It's so normal. It's going to happen to everybody. Like destigmatize this issue, normalize it. That would give them permission to feel like, oh, I'm not the only one going through this, because it's not like guys are talking to each other about it. You know what I mean?
I see that with Sarah every Thursday when we do Therapy Thursday. It's always what you've said. I don't even know if you realize, you probably do, but she always says, look, you have no idea how common this is and how many people are going through the same situation right now.
Absolutely. And I think that we have a real problem with assigning character, like it's a character flaw when something's not working, whether it's in the bedroom or in a relationship or, with our work situations, when that's just not the case.
Yeah, it's so common, and it's coming for everybody. Like I hate saying this, but I was taught it's a precursor to heart disease, right? So this is something where if the mechanics down there, the plumbing stops working, it's like a warning sign. It's more like a check engine light for men to say, oh, there might be a bigger problem in my body. I should go get this looked at. So it's going to happen to everybody at some point. I think so just raising the awareness is really important.
It's going to happen to everybody.
It is. It's coming for all of us.
It's coming for
us. Or not coming, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know Dick. It is a book.
Yeah.
Kristina Denton, I love you. It says, How I Healed My Daddy Issues, Fixing Broken Dicks. Yeah. What is your broken dick percentage rate?
Percentage rate?
How many did you fix?
Oh, my. Over 400 in 1 year.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Multiple. I was the only technician doing this, like almost in all of Southern California for that year. It was very new and kind of the wild west of that service. Now it's very prevalent. But because I was the only technician, I was working up to 50 hours a week at my peak. It was exhausting. My body hurt.
Story.
But man, did I collect an incredible amount of stories and just beautiful, insight into men that I needed. And that's why it says heal my daddy issues, because I didn't get a great foundation, from my father. And it taught me not to really trust men or feel safe with them. And so that completely transformed me. And I'm now here just saying, I believe that we are all capable of living in the messy middle. We don't have to be polarized. And, I found peace there, and I have such a different relationship to men, and I'm so grateful for this job because of that.
I can't wait to read this.
I know.
I really can't.
It's fun.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
You don't know Dick. Kristina Denton out now. Wow. Amazing. I love you both.
Love you.